welcome back to the Beardworks podcast for episode number 27. Nick, how you going, mate?
Yeah, pretty good. Bloody, don't know how to deal with this weather. It's hot, cold, hot, cold. It's pissed me right off.
Yeah, it's been super hot where we are. It's what I think we had at 45 on Sunday just gone. And even I reckon I was working night shift on Monday morning, so I started Sunday midnight, finished at 8 o'clock Monday morning. It didn't go below 31 degrees all night. It was ridiculously warm at night.
Yeah, we had similar down here, stinking hot. But then yesterday it just started pissing down, freezing.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's actually pretty nice and cool today, so nice change up. But yeah, plenty of stuff to talk about today. Bit of a recap on the WandaVision episode 3 that came out. So we now know that they're dropping an episode a week on Fridays. So that's right. Though. I mean, I don't think they were going to drop any more than one. I think that they've always drop off. With Disney Plus and other, like maybe Netflix, they drop the first two episodes in that first week normally, just give people a bit more content to watch. So episode 3, bit of a change up. Now it's in color. So next era in television and fashion statements, I guess.
Yeah, this is definitely the best episode so far. I thought. Um, yeah, you're getting a bit more of what's actually going on with that post-credit thing, but like we can get to that. But she's got the kids now, Speed and Wiccan.
Yeah, it's really interesting because obviously Vision is sort of like he can't comprehend what's happening because she's going through pregnancy that damn quick. Um, but yeah, it was actually I did find the episode really enjoyable. I think it is picking up and going towards something really big, and I mean, like I said, that part at the end sort of like explains where it's probably headed, but it's still a mystery to see what's really happening because Wanda's quite a powerful character, and to see where the situation she's in at the moment doesn't make much sense to me unless her mind did split after Endgame. But
Yeah, I don't know. And then you get those weird ads, like you got the Hydra soap and you got the Stark toaster. Like they're
yeah,
hinting at all these other movies that she's been a part of, but
yeah,
it still seems real new. I don't think we. I don't think it's Hydra. It's definitely not Hydra doing this to her.
no, it's yeah. I honestly can put a finger on it right now. Obviously, once we get closer towards the end of the season, we'll have a pretty good understanding of what's going on. But overall, this little episode had a cool back line, with the, having children and stuff like that, and Vision trying to work out what's going on, and like there was at the start of the episode when his neighbor was using the bloody hedge cutter and it's like cutting into the brick, like he was glitching out or something.
Yeah, and then they talk to them too later on, and she's like, "Oh, we can't tell him. We can't tell him right in front of him."
Yeah,
Like, oh, there's some weird shit going on, dude. Definitely some weird shit. So they must know. I reckon the neighbors and that must be like, I don't know if she's in like some like coma or frozen or something. They must be like nurses or helpers, or they must be bad.
well, let's jump to the big thing at the end where it was that the I forget her name now, but the character that was helping her look after the children, she was talking about Petro, which is her brother, like Quicksilver
Oh,
from
he
the
got
films.
killed from Ultron, and then
Yeah, she goes, "Oh, your brother was killed by Ultron," and she goes, "How do you know that?" Like, sort of asking
what
questions
did
and
you say? Like,
yeah, what did you say and stuff like that. And then Vision comes back in and she goes, he's like, "Where's so and so?" And she's like, "Oh, she had to leave." And then it shows her getting thrown out of
the
this.
compound.
Yeah, which is really interesting. So is Wanda bringing back Vision? So obviously, it makes me feel like these characters in here aren't like a figment of her mind or a reality or something like that. They're like actual actors or people, and I don't know, like maybe she's making them because like the whole hedge cutting thing that sort of threw me off a little bit. But if she's physically bringing Vision back to life, inside her world, and they're seeing him like, but then but then it is the real world still because that girl gets flung out of this like force field kind of thing. Then yeah, it's so hard to work out what's really going on.
Because even in Endgame, when Cap goes and puts all the stones back, where did he put Visions?
Well, true. I mean, they
Like,
didn't really explain that much. It sort of just happened, and we had to accept it. Sort of the time travel thing, which didn't make too much sense.
yeah, so like, what, he just gone and shoved this stone back in a corpse's head? He must have given it to Wanda. Maybe this is how
Yeah,
she's this powerful at the moment. Maybe she's juicing off the stone.
maybe I don't know. I mean, surely not. Realistically, they.
I got no
Yeah, I'm still trying to work out how our episode sort of ended. I understand like the build up and what and how it happens, because it seemed like she wasn't telling the truth, and that's why Wanda sort of like broke and said, "Nah, off you go," and threw her out. But these people are seeing Vision, they're interacting with Vision, unless it's just a like a bridging thing that we're seeing that it's not actually happening, or and that's all in Wanda's mind. But yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what happens over the next few episodes and see if actually Vision's been brought back, if you know what I mean.
Well, I like Vision. I'm not going to care if they bring him back with some bullshit, but yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to know. It's so interesting. It's so sick.
I have to agree. Like I spoke to a few people about after they listened to our episode, how I sort of talked down that maybe I'm a bit off the Marvel hype train. I still am. I think I'm just drained from the, like I said last week. I'm still drained from the whole Infinity Saga. Getting all the way to Endgame and seeing all these characters is such a big thing that I loved and enjoyed. That I was sort of like, yep, I'm done for a little while now. But I'm happy to watch these bits and pieces. I guess now I really am getting a bit more interested. But like I said, the last few episodes down, I'm still bitten by Star Wars, so
Yeah,
can't really get off that
the
at the
one
moment.
I'm not excited for is Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't care about Bucky and I don't care about Falcon at all, even when they're in the MCU.
So that's the thing. I love the Winter Soldier. I loved like the Captain America 2
Yeah,
with
that's a
Winter
good
Soldier.
movie, but like, do you care about them after that? No, you see him for like 1 minute.
Bucky sort of like gets pushed to the side unless like then you look at Civil War. They sort of the main piece again. But I do think Bucky's character is really cool. I do like Winter Soldier and stuff like that. Sebastian Stan's a good actor, and he's just a side piece pretty much the whole time. Like obviously he's not as all powerful as Captain America and is not the centerpiece of the Avengers. But I'm really keen to see where they take that. I just think they have a pretty cool dynamic. But I think what makes that dynamic so cool was having Steve Rogers in that story as well. So
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why Steve would have given Sam the shield because, like, at least Bucky has the super soldier serum. He can throw the shield. What's Sam going to do? Pretend to pick it up? Like, it's heavy.
Well, I think they showed in the trailer that he can throw it pretty well. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
anyways,
Superhero
that's
bullshit.
well, we got those shows coming out this year, so we'll see how they all turn out. I'm not sure how keen I'm on Loki, but
Oh yeah.
um,
There's rumors that Loki's going to bring bloody Black Widow back or something along those lines.
yeah, I don't know. Well, Black Widow still needs to come out, hasn't it? That movie hasn't dropped yet.
No, that's never coming out, man.
Well, I think it's ready to go. I think they just want to make as much money as they can off it. They're waiting for theaters to open up again,
Yeah, well,
but
theaters are open, man. I don't know.
not all around the world. I think that's what they're looking at. But anyways, we talked about WandaVision. That's what we want to have a recap on, and we'll have another talk about that next week. We promise just to recap each week because to keep it along and make everyone still involved in it. So now, Nick, one big thing happened for us. Well, more realistic for you recently.
Yeah,
Um,
dog.
in a demo wise for a franchise that you're very much in love with and that you called it may be game of the year this year. So talk about it now. Tell me what your thoughts are.
All right, there was the Resi showcase that come out the other day. I think we touched on it last week.
Resident Evil, he's
Yeah,
talking about, of
Resident
course.
Evil. Yeah, oh, sorry, I'll say Resi the whole time. Yeah, Resident Evil 8 Village had a showcase, and they like showed some trailers, some announcements, but then like the biggest thing, they're like, "Oh, there's a visual showcase demo dropping. It's out now. Go suck it down, have a play." It's only real short. It's like 15 minutes is what I think I clocked in to finish it.
Yep.
Um, it looks incredible. They've like redone the RE engine for next gen. Like as you said, there is a couple spots you look out and the textures are a bit how you going. But like walking through those like ornate hallways with all the filigree and stuff on the walls, that looks like a photograph, man. You're not getting better than that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I said, we spoke about it off air with a few other people as well, and I did say there were some parts that looked a bit grainy, and but I think it's only an early demo as well. I mean, as in it's very isolated, so it's hard to really give it a proper appraisal when you have. I mean, like I said, there are really nice scenes in the screenshots you could take throughout that little demo, and but the thing is, it's more of the same from you know the Resident Evil storyline, as in and the scenery. Like it's always been that dark and gritty thing, and has a very Castlevania vibes in this. Well, we sort of speculate on what we might see in this game, and you're pretty confident in it as well. It being vampires, so
Yeah, I've been saying it for since the first trailer came out because it's like you got the village all in the snow, the crazy like villagers, the cult kind of stuff. Then you got that werewolf dude they show in the original trailer start screaming, roaring. and then it ends just with a shot of like looking up at a castle from the village. It just screams Dracula to me. Like that sounds like the Van Helsing village pretty well.
And I think if for people that haven't played the demo, you definitely get it there and play it if you have the time and
And the
the
PS5.
and the PS5. Um, there's gonna be spoilers we're gonna talk about it right now, and they do seem like vampires. The enemies that you face, sort of like these main villains that you'll be facing, your challenges that you'll try to overcome in the game. Because we do see some quite interesting characters, and that's one of the things that scared me the most. Well, not so much scared me, but more like your footsteps are so loud, but then you hear other footsteps as well, and you realize who that really is.
And then you hear like, um, he's mine, just like out
Yeah,
of nowhere, right behind you, and then it moves. And
yeah, no, that was it's cool because obviously they've sort of showed in the trailer. There's these women in the game that are like the enemies, of course, very pale, so vampire looking, you could say, and it looks like you're going to be facing one by one because in the demo you have this woman walking around in like this black veil, and it's just like she's just it's like it just looks like her everything's sort of like floating, like she's walking, but her it's just like she's walking into like some kind of breeze because everything's just like floating behind her, like in her dress, and it's like she's walking in the wind, I should say.
it's almost
And
like she looks like a Dementor, like how her
yeah,
clothes
yeah, very
move
true,
around.
and it's really creepy because it's just like you just look across and like you don't really hear any sound straight away. And you just see this thing floating, and you're like, right, this is interesting. And then she's walking around with a sickle, which is even more interesting because that thing could do some damage to you. Um, but yeah, definitely. I remember I didn't see anything. I didn't see any person walking around. I did all my stuff. Obviously, I reckon that start of the game where you start off in that dungeon kind of thing and you're trying to escape, and then there's that thing bashing down the walls. I think that's like a werewolf bashing it down.
Oh yeah, that would have to be just something crazy outside of that dungeon.
Because this is one thing I picked up. So I'll just sort of try and piece it together for people. I mean, you can watch it on YouTube, but I'll just put it together right now if I can. So you start up in a dungeon, you find your way out, you look through some corpses, you find bits and pieces, and then you get towards this big door, and all of a sudden, there's this boarded up like hallway kind of thing. I think it is like a cell, but it's been boarded up like crazy, and something's banging it down, it's like growling as well. So if you haven't played any of the Resident Evil games before, and you're starting this one, you probably think it's like a werewolf or a giant monster kind of thing. And what happens? You open the door, and when you open the door, you go into that little like circular room before you go into the next big set of like open area. And that room, if you look on the walls, has like all these soldiers with swords and shields all facing towards that door.
Yeah,
And so,
it's like a hellscape. Like it's just like this. It's all red and orange sculptures and shit. It's yeah,
and that's
very
what I think
different.
is the way I see it is like that was a big bolted door that you opened up, like this big heavy thing. The way it looks is that you know how they in some movies they sort of like show that there's something dangerous and like terrible inside that room, so they've sculpted some kind of thing to say that men defeated this thing and locked it away. That's
Yeah,
what it reminded me of straight away. It's like that this is a dangerous room, do not enter it, because it took this many soldiers to lock it away.
and even in like the main living room, there's a suit of armor on a stand.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, but the thing that really sold me vampires in this demo, did you find the note about the old castles? Like it's like must some chick that must have worked in the castle a long time ago had written like a diary of her first day. Did you
yeah,
find
yeah,
that? And she's like, oh, I've met the mistress and her three daughters, and they promised not to bite me, which I thought was very odd.
yeah.
All right, what else could it be? Are they just psychos? No, they've got to be vampires, bloodsuckers. There's something like that.
Well, it shows you when you eventually you find your way around and you find the key to get out to the courtyard, and you're like literally about to get there, and she just appears in front of the door, one of the daughters, and this gives you a big chunk, or a nice love bite on the side of the neck, I should say,
Oh yeah,
and throws you to the side, and then you're like, and then she's like, this is like a battle, obviously, but you can't do anything, so you just have to leg it around her to get out. Eventually, get to the door, and then bang, Mama comes in, picks you up, this giant bloody white, pale white beast of a thing.
and someone did the math on how tall she is. I reckon someone dove in. She's massive. She's taller than Nemesis.
Yeah, it was really cool, and but this is the thing. I mean, I haven't played every single Resident Evil back to back, or like I've watched the movies and stuff, but they don't really coincide with the games. I know the characters and stuff like that. I just don't know how I feel about vampires and werewolves in the same storyline or the same world as like a virus that's pretty much potentially make zombies, if you know what I mean. It's sort of hard to comprehend where this is going.
Yeah, I don't know idea. I think because we don't know what Umbrella's been experimenting on, like how many shit, like what exists in this universe or not. Because we've seen every kind of monster you can imagine so far. I think
Yeah,
it makes sense to have werewolves and stuff because we've seen some kooky shit already. And the way those vampire chicks in this demo move around, it reminds me of Marguerite from Seven. All the bugs, how they shit like can fly around.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I don't know. I think it fits. It's even if it doesn't fit, it's going to be a cool vampire game. But
yeah.
yeah, Resi's always pretty good, pretty trustworthy. Make a good game.
I mean, realistically, they could have. I think we spoke about this a long time ago. How he said that it could be something like they tried to replicate immortality, like sort of like with vampires, maybe into a serum or into like a shot, and then it turned out to be a virus. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Obviously, Chris Redfield's in this game as well. He's sort of like the seems like he's the poster boy, but I think it's because we don't really know Ethan's face, do we?
No, they have never
Uh,
shown Ethan.
it's going to be really interesting because obviously in the trailer shows Chris returning and shooting
Mia.
um, in the head, and then they're like, "All right, we're leaving," and they pick up Ethan and take with them. Ethan has to have a bigger storyline in this. I don't know. I mean, obviously, in the first one, he was saving his wife.
I'm pretty sure they've
Um,
already announced a little bit of the synopsis of this game. You go to the castle to get your daughter back. Like Chris has delivered your daughter to the maiden or to the mistress, whatever.
well, how far is this in the wait? Because
This
in
is a
seven,
direct.
you don't have a
This is
daughter,
a direct continuation of Seven. So this
but
goes.
do you have? You didn't have a daughter in seven though, did you?
No, this has got to be a couple years after. But
Yeah.
it's like
Oh
it's the
man.
same characters, same story. It's like get tongue tied. It's continuing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't know that much, but I'm just trying to work out the timeline because yeah, and make Chris Redfield look a little bit different again as well. Like he just changes every game.
Oh, I think he's just
Um,
a bit more jacked in this one. He looks like chunky because he looks a little bit like this in Resi Seven, but you only see him for like 1 second at the end.
yeah, but then you play him in there's DLC, isn't there?
Yeah, it's just a shooting gallery, pretty well.
Yeah. Either way, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's not far away, May, so it's coming up pretty quick. You're pretty happy with that, so
Yeah, I've got Returnal on the way, so I'll probably do Returnal first.
yeah, I'm keen for Eternal as well, which we'll capitalize on when it comes out. So that's our Resident Evil little chat. Keen on it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's gonna be incredible, man. It's gonna
yeah,
contend for Game of the Year unless like God of War comes out and just starts swinging.
let's. I don't disagree with you, but also I understand that sometimes those select games like Resident Evil don't always get into the game of the year. It has to be like a massive hype train, you know. So I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. We'll wait and see, anyways.
And a lot of people can't handle horror. That's just reality. A lot of people are never going to touch Resi because they think it's scary.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll wait and see. Keen on it, and yeah, we'll just have to hold out a little bit longer yet. But like you said, Returnal's there, so we'll get stuck into that when it comes out.
Yeah, for sure.
Another thing happened, which we're pretty keen on. A trailer dropped, and the thing is, we liked the last two films. One of them, the second film was good. We both enjoyed it, but we have a friend in Pap that absolutely thinks it's one of the greatest films that was ever created.
100% just a monster beat 'em up. Nowhere near movie of the millennium. No way.
So we're talking about the old Godzilla, all right? So we're talking about Godzilla 1, which was a pretty decent film. Then we're talking about Godzilla 2, was it King of the Monsters?
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool as well, especially with the thermonuclear Godzilla you get at the very end. Um, and then all of a sudden, we got little snippets in both movies talking about how Kong was involved in this universe, obviously from Kong Skull Island. Not the Peter Jackson one, which I think is an amazing film.
Oh yeah,
Um,
big movie.
but yeah, Skull Island that came out a few years ago, that tied into the Godzilla franchise, into the universe, and so we recently got Godzilla versus Kong trailer, which was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it's just a bloody compilation of Kong swinging.
Well, that's the thing. I reckon there's gonna be two trailers. There's this trailer where it shows, that Godzilla is doing something. He's killing people. Yada yada yada. Kong needs to stop him. That's why they brought Kong to the. Oh, well, we don't know why they're bringing Kong to the mainland, but it has to be something to do with study, or even it sounds like they're saying that Godzilla is going around and wreaking havoc, and they need someone to challenge him. And so they know of a giant monkey that lives on a bloody island. So let's go capture him. Considering that they couldn't capture him way back when, I'm wondering if they're actually going to show us them capturing him, or if he's just going to show him getting drifted on a boat. You know what I mean?
I don't think they've captured him. I think Kong's gone. gone with him
willingly.
and that little girl. I reckon there's going to be a big
Oh,
bad.
that's right.
There's a
Yep.
big baddie thing, and they're like, okay, we need something to punch on because we can't find Godzilla because he's probably under the ocean.
I see what you mean. Yeah, because I remember in the trailer they showed that there was a little girl that he connected with, and they're using her to lure him onto the boat and yada yada yada.
Yeah, so I reckon
Um,
Kong's there. I don't know why he's chained up. Maybe just because so he doesn't fall off or something. I don't know. But I reckon he's not there that maliciously. But
no, he's not.
then, yeah, the chains are coming off. Godzilla's coming swimming up.
Well, that's
Bang.
the thing. So we need to know why Godzilla is doing what he's doing, and they're like saying that he's not acting his normal self. So obviously something bigger might be coming, and he's sort of like just I don't know. I don't know how it works. Pretty much, we saw like what happened at the end of number two, like Godzilla two, and we saw that maybe um, the big baddie survived with its head because it could regenerate because it's an alien species, not from Earth. So maybe that returns. It was a King Godzilla, yeah. Um,
I reckon it's going to be like there's going to be like Mecha Godzilla.
you reckon?
Well, one of the trailers apparently in the background you can see like a robotic dinosaur head or something. But or it's going to be like what monster haven't we seen from the old Godzilla? Have we seen Rodan yet?
Yeah, and was that giant bloody pterodactyl thing
Yeah.
in the second film? I don't know. Honestly, Mechagodzilla. I don't know if they would. It, I don't know. Mechagodzilla is a big one because it's it's a bit far fetched. If you know what I mean. I'm not saying that obviously it's a monster movie that it doesn't make sense, but seeing a giant robot Godzilla running around on the screen would be a little bit different to watching like organic monsters to fight each other. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know, but what if the Mecha Godzilla's covered in skin so far, and maybe that's who he's fighting? They don't understand. Someone's made it in secret.
Well, that'd be a pretty cool tie, I guess. A
Because
little
imagine
mystery.
if King Kong's just like smashing this Mech Godzilla and starts ripping his skin off.
Yeah, I mean, we'll wait and see. I mean, it's like I
Um,
said, speculation. We're not sure when does it release. We don't know yet.
well,
Um,
not
hang on,
as
I'll have a
soon
quick
as
look.
I hope.
March 25th. So next coming up pretty much next month. After next couple of days. I mean, it'll be. I mean, it showed some pretty cool stuff in the trailer. Sort of like just a normal beat 'em up and stuff. Um, it's crazy how big Kong's gotten now, though, isn't it? Like,
Well, yeah, but they say that in the first in Skull Island that he's only like infancy still.
yeah. But I'm just comparing. Because like, you think of Godzilla, you look at how big he looked in the movies. But I don't know. Like,
That's why I didn't think Godzilla looked as big in this trailer as he did in Godzilla.
I definitely agree with that. I'm just looking at some screenshots now, and it shows them fighting on top of a carrier. How much does carriers hold? Like these are airship carriers, like
But
in the navy.
Godzilla,
You,
he would not even fit on an aircraft carrier in the last movie.
that's what I
He's
don't know how
huge.
this. That's what I'm trying to work out. I'm looking at them now, and they're standing up against each other, and they're boxing on, and it shows the aircraft carriers, sorry, like command deck. You know that
Yeah,
little tower, and it shows right here that that deck is like just below Kong's, or just above Kong's knees, and that would only be what 2 3 stories.
yeah, I don't know.
Or
Unless
maybe
that's a
more.
special carrier made to carry Kong, I don't know.
Probably, yeah. But
That,
I mean, either way, we'll wait and see. I mean, it's going to be cool either way because not saying they're perfect films, but they're fun to watch. It's sort of like Pacific Rim, if you know what I mean. Like,
no,
like watching big things battle.
yeah, maybe
Uh,
not Pacific Rim, but
You didn't like Pacific Rim?
I hate Pacific Rim. I've never even can't get through the first one, and I only got through the second because I was in the cinema.
I don't mind it. I mean, yeah, I love big mechs. It reminds me of Gundam, and because there's no Gundam films out there as in live action. It's the closest thing you can get to it. The only thing I didn't really like about it is that it takes two people to pilot it because I think that's how they made the story. And then yeah, no, I love Pacific Rim. I reckon it's pretty cool.
No, I couldn't
Number
get it.
two, nowhere near as good, but
No,
yeah,
number two is just bearable. The first one's cringe, man. He like does this whole movie fighting all this shit to get friend zoned by that Asian chick. Yeah. Oh, we saved the world. Give me a hug on your bike.
no, nah, he was teaching her. She was learning from him. That's why.
No.
Um, but yeah, so Godzilla versus Kong, big thing coming out. We'll see how that ends. I wonder if there's going to be another film after this, or this is the climax to the Godzilla trilogy, unless they bring out like a Kong two. I don't know. I feel like they could have done Kong another movie, but I guess it's always been like very secluded on that island. So if he killed everything on the island, there'd be nothing to face. So I
You
can
see
understand.
in Kong, don't you? You see like other gorilla skeletons that are bigger than him, don't you?
Yeah,
Surely,
yeah.
yeah. There's giant skulls and shit. So yeah.
Nah, this should be big. We'll wait and see. obviously watching Godzilla 2 was quite a spectacle. Like some of the scenes were really nicely done. So we can see this, especially like in IMAX. This would be so cool to watch.
Yeah, I'll probably go to the cinemas. I've got a couple mates down here that really love like monster movies like this, but who knows?
Yeah. Nah. I honestly, I think how the story's going to play is they'll verse each other, have a big fight, and then at the very end, they'll verse something even bigger. Sort of like, um, Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice style.
Ugh.
You know, let's uh let's have our cool two main characters fight each other, and let's bring out one of the biggest main bad guys of the story franchise with Doomsday and waste him. Fucking hell, what a waste that was.
Oh, there's so
Um,
many good comics of Doomsday and shit, and they're just like, we'll kill him in 10 minutes in a movie.
yeah, exactly. They didn't have him too much. I mean, I guess the thing is he's so powerful, and if you want to rampage, you destroy half the Earth before the old Justice League could stop him. But no, that's another story, I guess, for another time. But anything else that we wanted to talk about? We've still got a few minutes left. I don't think there's anything that's jumping out at us.
No, it's been a slow week for like games and stuff. Just I'm replaying Resi 7 after that demo. Just going back
Yeah,
through. It's so short that game. It's only like 8-9 hours long. It's tiny.
yeah. It was. I mean, Resident Evil was an interesting game and it was fun. Sorry, Biohazard, like Resident Evil 7, it was good.
Yeah,
Um, different. It was a different take. It was sort of bring back to the roots of the horror game and a bit of action and stuff like that. So
I definitely felt like 7 was a soft reboot for the series, like going first person, going
yeah,
like double down on the horror. But like they still held back a little in Resi 7, I feel. Like they weren't as confident in this formula as they're going to be in Resi Village. Village, I think that it's going to be like, yep, people liked what we did. Let's go hard. Let's do what we want. And we'll just chuck all the craziness in this game.
yeah. No, I definitely agree. Resident Evil 7 was definitely a soft reboot. I think they obviously Resident Evil 5 was I like number 5 in the African village and stuff like that. That was cool. But and then even 6 was a bit of a jumbled mess. There was just so much going on at once.
Yeah.
Um, and that was just pure like action, shoot 'em up. So it's good to see that they're sort of going back to their roots and making it more of an experience than just a simple shoot 'em game. So
Yeah. Resi Village, the newest one, is going to be a lot more of a confident game than 7, I reckon. There's a few
yeah,
choices in 7 that they've made that you can tell they weren't confident in
those
themselves in.
yeah, and now that's going all in. So which would be good. They're confident in their abilities of making a game that's worthwhile playing. And like I said, I think they're throwing everything at the wall, and hopefully it's all going to stick. So and yeah, I'm just trying to think of anything else. Oh, I did. I had a bit of fun playing. I was speaking to you guys the other night, but just to listen for our listeners, I've got a VR headset, and so I've been playing bits and pieces of different games, and I finally worked out how to mod stuff. Not that it's like super hard, just I don't really have the time to do it. And so I had a bit of fun playing the Outer Rim mod on HTC Vive, and that's where it chucks in all the Star Wars content that you can into this game called Blades and Sorcery, and it's so much fun. Um, yeah, it's just because you get to feel like the lightsabers feel so not so much realistic, but they sound realistic, um, and just the way they cut through things, it's so much fun because you play Star Wars games and it's different playing with like a third person or something like that. Getting to play VR with a lightsaber is so much more fun.
Oh yeah, dude. I'd love to play VR lots and stuff. It just gives me the worst motion sickness. I like 5 minutes in, I got a stomach ache. I don't know why. I can go on roller coasters and shit, perfect, but VR's different.
While I was stuck in playing the Outer Rim for like 2 hours, I remember the first thing I did was played the Order 66 um, little wave thing where it had like I think he has like 8 stormtroopers coming here once and shooting lasers and stuff, and it's just so hard to deflect. Can't imagine what the Jedi were going through in that kind of stage.
Yeah, we don't really
um,
have the force though.
yeah, I can't really sense when someone's aiming something at me and about to fire, so I was just sort of swinging my lightsaber, trying to deflect everything, and then chasing them down and trying to cut them in half. So, no, it's such a cool little mod. Yeah, good fun. It's just something that we don't normally get with Star Wars content is VR stuff. Obviously, they got the Vader Immortal stuff on the Oculus, which is really cool as well. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Star Wars has just bitten me hard. I've been saying it now for 3 weeks, and I'm just absolutely loving it. Clone Wars nearly finished. Coming up and going to start Rebels, and then the Bad Batch starts up this year too. Massive year for animated Star Wars stuff.
We'll have a talk about Clone Wars when you finish it. We'll do a Clone Wars episode because I finished it last month as well.
Yeah, 100%. I'm so keen. I think I'm nearly at the end of season 6, so season 7 is about to kick off, and that was like the latest stuff. So
You'll do season 7 in like one go, I reckon, just when you've got time off because it's that good. You'll just go through it.
Yeah, no, I'm super keen, and yeah, no. Well, anyways, I think we're dragging on a bit now, anyway. So I think we'll call it up there. Any last words, Nick?
Nah, if you got a PS5, play Maiden Resi demo. So good.
Yeah, 100%. Get on that, have a bit of a crack, and have a bit of fun. And saying that, can you give us a bit of a support on our other channels, as in our social networking? So we've got Twitter, Instagram. What else have we got now? That's pretty much it, really. But yeah, our YouTube channel, it's got there. I mean, we don't expect you guys to do both, but if you get a chance and you maybe want to watch something or just listen to us on YouTube, more than welcome to. And yeah, just Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, whatever you listen to us. We're happy for you to tune in wherever you can, and just any support's great for us. We really do appreciate it. In saying that, I think that we'll wrap it up there, and I hope you all have a good week and enjoy whatever comes out and you'd like to enjoy in the next week or so.
Peace out.